So in this video, I'm going to be starting off with the foundation. I already did my skin prep off camera, but if you want to see how I do my skin prep, I have lots of videos you can check on my channel. So I'm using my L'Oreal foundation in the shade C8. I first of all used a flat brush to apply the foundation before using my beauty sponge, my damp beauty sponge, to blend the foundation into the skin. So after blending in the foundation, I'm going to be locking it up with my Kiss Beauty Spray. This is going to help keep the foundation intact. After that, I'm going to let it dry into the skin before moving on to cream contouring. For cream contouring, I'm going to be using my New Beauty concealer in the shade 048 to contour her face. So if you want to contour your face, it is best to use a concealer shade or foundation shade that is 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin to contour your face. So after blending in the contour, I'm going to be applying my cream blush. I'm going to be using this shade from my Blend Brilliant Blush palette. I'm going to be applying it above her cheekbone and a little bit on the tip of her nose. Then I went ahead using my beauty sponge to blend. So after blending in the blush, I'm going to be highlighting her face with this Milani concealer in the shade 145. So after applying the concealer on the places I want to highlight, I went ahead to use my beauty sponge to blend the concealer on the highlighted area. So after blending in the concealer, I'm going to be contouring the nose with the same shade I used to contour the face. I used a flat brush to apply it first before blending it with my beauty sponge to avoid any harsh lines. So next is to set the concealer using my Sacha Buttercup setting powder. But before setting, I went back using my beauty sponge to blend the areas underneath the eyes to avoid creasing. Then I went ahead to set. So while setting, do not pack too much setting powder. A little quantity goes a long way, and make sure you set properly before you move on to the other side. So after setting the concealer on the highlighted area, I'm going to be setting the rest of her face with this shade of powder from my Blend Brilliant powder palette. And if you want to set the rest of your face, it is best to use the exact shade of your skin tone to set the rest of your face. Do not use a shade lighter or darker. Make sure the shade you're using matches with your skin tone. So after setting the rest of the face, I'm going to be doing my dry contouring, which is low light contouring. I'm going to be using this shade here from the same powder palette to set the cream contour that I applied earlier. So after that, next is to contour the nose. I'm going to be using the same shade to contour the nose. So if there's any question you have for me, please drop it in the comment section. So you can see the way I'm taking my time to snatch the nose properly. After that, I'm going to be applying a lighter shade of powder from the same palette. I'm going to be applying it on the highlighted area just to give it a little bit of coverage. So after that, I'm going to be applying my powder blush. I'm going to be mixing these two shades from my Cheesky blush palette and apply it above the cheekbone and a little bit on the tip of the nose. So after that, I'm going to be using my powder brush to blend everything together. So can you see how the skin is already looking? Then next, I'm going to be setting the face with my Kiss Beauty Spray. This is going to help to reduce the powder effect and also help the product to absorb properly into the skin. After that, I'm going to let it dry before moving on to baking. For baking, I'm going to be baking with the face with the same setting powder I used to set the face. So after baking the face, moving on to the brows, I'm going to be using my brow tamer to lay the brows nicely. Then I went ahead to do the eyeshadow. I'm going to be applying my Viant eyeshadow base to prime her lid. So after priming the eyelid, I'm going to be applying a little setting powder on the areas underneath the eyes to avoid fallout from the eyes. Then I went ahead to do the eyes. I'm going to be taking this peach shade from my blush palette. I'm using my blush palette as my eyeshadow. I started applying this shade from the outer corner of her lid, then blended it towards the inner corner of her lid. So after that, I'm going to be taking this shade here from my Blossom eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be applying it on the outer corner, then gently blend it in. So I did the other eyes off camera and I went back with the first eyeshadow brush I used. I went back using it to blend to avoid any demarcation. So after that, next I'm going to be taking this shade here from my Beach Wave eyeshadow palette. I'm going to be applying it on the inner corner of her lid. So after that, I added a little pigment, but what I'm doing right now, I'm using my pigment glue on the inner corner of her lid before placing this pigment. So after that, I'm going to be applying this darker shade from the same palette. I'm going to be applying it on the outer corner of her lid. So after that, I'm going to be applying a lighter shade of powder from the same powder palette. I'm going to be applying it on the outer corner of her lid to define the lid. So next, I'm going to be taking this shade from the same Blossom palette. I'm going to be applying it on the areas underneath her waterline. So after that, I'm going to be lining her upper and lower lash line with my Carrot gel liner. So moving on to the brows, I'm going to be drawing her brows with my Carrot gel liner, the brown shade, using my brow brush, following the shape of her brows. So after that, I'm going to be highlighting the brows with the same concealer I used to highlight the face. So after highlighting, I'm going to be blending it immediately. After blending, I'm going to be doing the other eyes following the same method. So next is to set the concealer. I'm going to be setting the concealer with this lighter shade of powder from the same powder palette. So after setting the concealer, I went back with my eyeshadow blending brush to blend so there won't be any form of demarcation. So after that, next I'm going to be prepping her lower lashes with my Zara mascara in order to give it volume. So after that, I went ahead to do the lip. I'm going to be mixing this red color and this brown one here to outline her lip. So after outlining the lip, I'm going to be adding this peach shade in the middle just to brighten up the lip. So next I'm going to be glossing her lip. So after glossing her lip, I decided to correct her hairline. So I mixed the foundation and the contour shade together to correct the hairline because immediately she removed that stuff she tied on her hairline, the place wasn't looking good. So I had to use this to correct it so that the foundation doesn't touch the lace. So after that, I had to set it with her powder shade. So next I went back with the contour brush to blend the areas I contoured. Then next I decided to dust off the excess powder on the highlighted area. So after dusting off the powder, I went back with my powder brush to blend everything together. So after blending, I went back with my blush. I went back applying more blush on her cheekbone because I want everything to pop very well. So this was when the hairstylist was almost rounding up with the hair, and myself, I was trying to do my finishing touches, blending the areas that needed to be blended, trying to fix everything, correcting what needs to be corrected. And you guys, it wasn't easy working with a hairstylist. I don't like working with a hairstylist, especially when she's doing the hair and I'm doing the makeup. It's always stressful. So after that, I'm going to be setting the face. After setting the face, I'm going to let it dry into the skin. So after drying, I'm going to be applying my highlighter. I'm going to be using this Tehila highlighter and blush palette. So I'm going to be mixing these two here and apply it on the places I want the highlight to pop. So after that, I'm going to be setting the face with my Kiss Beauty Spray. After setting it, I'm going to let it dry. If she was a bride, I would have sealed it up with my finishing spray, but because she wasn't going anywhere, we are just doing a shoot. I had to leave it that way. So this was the hairstylist trying to finish up with the hair, wearing her the jewelries. Guys, tell me what you like about this look. So this is the finished look. This is what we created. The hairstylist did an amazing job. My sister made this beautiful dress. She's also on YouTube. She makes video on how she makes her dress, and everything is detailed on her channel. I'm going to be leaving her handle on here so that you can check her out. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share with your family and friends, and don't forget to also subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.